rotations, if he gets the early defusal, he can pick heroes off really easy across the map. As we get a 5-man smoke into a 5-man smoke.
Yeah, but already scouting ahead with that Astral Spirit, looking around.
You know what I'm glad to see?
Go ahead.
I'm glad to see Dad not playing Morta randomly again. Like, his Morta's good, but we saw the other series, like, it hasn't won yet.
You're right.
And the hero looks pretty meh. It looks pretty meh. It has a good lane, but are you going to carry the game? But now he's actually playing a carry we've seen a lot, just very stable in the Sven, where you hit creeps, you farm quick, you join the fights, you can just be that stable carry. Something that they were kind of missing in their previous series, as well as they were kind of missing a mid laner too in that last series as well. And yet again, he's playing more of a stable hero, not this Razor or Coddle niche type of mid laner. He's just playing the Pango.
And to back up your facts with some even more facts, Muerta yet to win a single game in SA. 3 picks, 3 losses. So that also probably also shows a bit that now you're playing an elimination match. It's a best of 3 for sure. You could always start game 1 with Muerta, see if it works, if it doesn't. But you're not riding on a lot of hopes in that case because the numbers aren't really speaking for you. So going for the Sven, you know.
Well, especially when 2 of those losses are from your team.
Exactly, yeah.
As well.
Exactly, yeah. So that's also probably taken a bit away from Dad. But bringing up the Sven, you've got a much faster farmer, which needs to keep
hats.
up.
Party hats are going on.
I'm hearing noise. I'm hearing party
those
hats.
are the party hat noises. Dyer's party happening up, and Lizex just did not put the hat on.
But they have the majority.
He's a party pooper.
Always got to have one, right? 10 seconds
so.
As we roll out the game. Arsent and El Misho going to be on the high ground position here and instantly looking to run away. Is Dad and Austin. Austin was playing a really mean Clockwork the last time Universitario was playing yesterday. Now on this Undying. Going to be helping out his Sven. Double melee, double strength, safe lane. Dismar with this techies heading towards bottom. Going to be up against an Elder Titan and Juggernaut. Even if my fact about 5 melee heroes in the draft, Techie still boasting the longest attack range out of any Dota hero, Blast Off is the reason why I put this hero as melee, because...
was that a fact? They have 5 melee?
4.5 is a fact. That's a fact I can live with.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that lane goes. As Techies, you know, one of those big reasons why this hero was so strong was the laning stage. And with that getting, not removed from him, but definitely nerfed a lot, that's why we haven't seen this hero too much and why its win rate isn't looking so good. But if you can get past the laning stage, this hero still does a lot of damage with the blast off and all the toolkit that he does have, especially if you can stun heroes. But there's not a lot of stun for Universitario here to work with, so that's a little bit concerning.
Obviously, as well, in the top lane, Sven just will want to grab as much farm as possible, have those supports rotate into the mid lane while he hits creeps, rotates into the jungle, get some stacks from his allies. That's just your classic Sven gameplay. So that would also mean Lizex, who can stay alone in the lane as a Timber saw. The techies can then move around, help out with some potential kills. Pango hits level 6. You have good kill potential with them. So if they can get like these early movements leading into kills and Dad gets to farm, that's the ideal world that Universitario would love to live in.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, maybe even getting a kill here could be a great thing to start things off with. But Yor lives with 40 HP.
All right. Could be a close one. That's a good start, though, for Lizex here. As you do pick this Juggernaut, which isn't going to pressure at all. He's probably not going to get pressured either. However, Lizex should have a almost free game, or definitely a free game here on this Timber Saw.
Up to some extent. It is HFN, which we do need to keep in mind that he's, you know, talented carry player from the South Americas. It has been for many, many years, but in terms of the hero matchup, sure, yeah, the Timber Saw should be fine. HFN should be somewhat fine as well. But
yeah, they'll both farm.
They will try their best, at least, to apply some aggression when they still can. That level 1 reactive armor usually isn't enough. Only getting an extra 5 armor from those full 10 stacks. And that is totally doable, especially with an Elder Titan by your side.
Yep, he'll definitely just chill here. I expect both of them to just free farm here, but you had the option if you wanted to shut down this Timber in the draft. They chose not to. They went more for just a hero that's good for the game and this Juggernaut. It's really an Omni Slash game. Omni Slashing Pango while he's rolling is great. We talked about Sven in the late game. Good Omni Slash target as well. Curious to see what his item build is going to be, because I have not seen a lot of Juggernaut since they made the change to that level 20 talent. It used to heal and not factor in armor, so it was like incredibly strong. But they buffed the talent to be 60% from 50%, but it now does factor in armor before the healing, which in my eyes is a really big nerf to the hero.
Yeah.
There's a big reason why he was so good. But they did buff a little bit of his like spin talent, so maybe we'll see some of that Maelstrom get the spin talents and the shard again, if that'll be a possibility.
Yeah, the magic jug, the mobility jug, so to say. Always was an option for some of the Juggernaut players, at least in pubs, to take a different route. If you don't want to be the good old right-clicker, buff up Omni Slash right-click damage, then you have the option of Blade Fury spin to win.
And maybe that's the route he probably should go, just because you have a Shadow Fiend, right? Maybe you don't need to be that Battle Fury hard farming carry, but someone's going to have to give. It's either going to be the Shadow Fiend's going to be a little less aggressive in his item build and be more of that Space Maker, or Juggernaut will fill the void. It really depends on who they want to carry the game. And as you mentioned, it's HFN. This guy has been very much so known for being that I am going to carry, and I'm going to carry real hard. I'm not going to make space for my teammates type of carry player. You make space for me. So most likely going to be that route.
I was looking at the bottom moments ago as Dismar. He missed the blast off of Yor, which could have potentially been a kill for Lissex, but just a bit too short. And at the same time, James, yesterday playing two different types of heroes in the mid lane. I remember the Coddle, which he also had in one. I don't exactly remember the second hero that he played. Too much Dota been going on. But both games, I think he played pretty well. And now doing a decent job here versus the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend's not getting away in CS. And James, actually, you know, 2 CS ahead, getting the majority of the poke onto Sebas. While El Misho
kind of pressuring him a little bit too, to be honest. This is very unexpected, as the Water Rune will be taken away. So Shadow Fiend, he has to bring a salve. This is normally what Pango needs to be doing, bring out that salve and then fuse raindrops right away. But James has gotten away with almost murder in this lane, I want to say.
Desmar sniping HFN's Courier as well. That would have been his Boots of Speed pretty much being upgraded to the next. But he's going to be missing out on it for the time being. Top lane, bit of a brawl there. Dawnbreaker fighting all the way to the end. Can't kill off Dad. And the Blood Grenade again, just kind of a, you know, a random grenade that doesn't hit any shrapnel, really.
This might be trouble for
maybe
Dad
now
here.
we do. Yes, they can. Wasn't able to escape fully. And El Misho snipes him with the Fate Bolt. Takes first blood for NoPing. That has been the kryptonite for Universitario this year.
And then Courier's going to go down here as well. He did get the tangos out, but
maybe another
Austin,
kill.
He's in trouble.
20 stacks of decay, trying his best. Maybe if he just right-clicks Arzent a couple times. But Dad is here. Ooh, 30 HP. And that's your Rubik dead. The creeps will help out Dad. And we'll get themselves a split kill for Austin and Dad. Dawnbreaker also forced a TP home. Sebas is being bullied by Desmar and James with the help of the techies. This is what they wanted to do. Get the supports to rotate around this Pango. It's not going to be a big buff
TP to the gate through a gate buff Spirit. He's going to hit how many heroes with that?
Okay,
plus
that's
90 damage, but you are playing versus Timber, so even with this fat Spirit here, it's not really going to yield too much. Not even get the deny there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was an interesting play from the Elder Titan. He used the gate, spirited the 2 heroes top, popped back through the gate, and just ran the Spirit bottom.
That's a good idea, definitely. Some ideas for your pubs. Use those portals.
Yep.
All you really need to do is just use the portal, drop the Spirit, instantly activate the portal to go back to the lane, and your Spirit's going to be taking 1, 2, maybe even 3 creep waves, potentially even a couple of neutral camps. Level 3 Elder Titan.
You can grief your carry by not laning.
I mean, it only takes a couple seconds, right? But true.
You have to know what you're doing.
You have to know what you're doing. Yeah.
It doesn't apply to all situations.
In
Put it that way.
before a big spike in Elder Titan in pubs, and it has like a 37% win rate.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Closing up on the
Right,
first 7 minutes.
He can lift him to the high ground here, but it looks like Rubik is going to make sure that he knows.
And a quick
Oh,
stack
I guess
on the
he
way.
knows when the Wisdom Rune is spawning. 7 minutes. I know a lot of players do have a problem with forgetting, but these pro players do not, because they have suffered many, many losses by not picking up these Wisdom Runes, because they're a big deal if you give 2 away.
And this is the tournament to show your best, so you don't want to make too many mistakes. James, there's no spin on the Juggernaut. They saw it. He was farming it with the camp, and that is a connection with the first stun. Goes for the second. There's the healing ward placed down, which Lissex is going to snipe. And Dismar, he's going to finish off the kill. That's a second for the Techies. And HFN, the Jug to fall. He had the most CS out of any hero right now, but losing that life, that's going to hurt.
Well, what really hurts you, I believe, is this Pango. He got out of the laning stage unscathed by this Shadow Fiend. So far, just having a fantastic early game here. And at this point, with Mana Boots online, with level 7, laning stage is done. So Shadow Fiend did not accomplish what he really wanted to accomplish here, as the 8-minute rune fight will come out. And it will just be a haste rune for Shadow Fiend, as SF is finishing up his power treads here. But yeah, big surprising story for me is look at the net worth and how much further ahead Pango is over this Shadow Fiend. It is pretty crazy.
That's over 1,000, yeah. That's pretty sick when you think about it. Even with the same amount of
stacks,
CS.
I guess.
Now 1 death on Shadow Fiend. Even though SF always has been this kind of flash farmer. No matter how many times you kill the hero, he always bounces back. But that you can't take that net worth away from the Pango, who benefits much more from this situation. SF always gets back, sure, but Pango off to a great start.
Absolutely, and this is what Universitario really needed in this game, and that 1,000 gold net worth is mainly just all from the mid lane here. Of course, Dad, similar hero to Shadow Fiend, where the Sven can just flash farm after having a bit of a rough laning stage. But he'll get back into the game, but he needs a space, right? And who's going to give him that space? It's going to be his Pango. And he critically needed to have this early game to go well for him, and it did. Whereas on the other side, on NoPing, you definitely have a draft that's kind of stale. You don't have much playmaking potential. ET doesn't do much. Yeah, TP out. ET won't do much for you. Rubik can make some plays on the map, but Rubik has always been known to be a little one of the greedier supports. He enjoys getting his farm up.
Does feel like they're lined up a bit more defensive here. James is coming in with a Rolling Thunder to help out Austin as they drop down the Tombstone. El Micho can't do quite much here, and Arzen's going to be hit the target for the first stun. Also hitting the Elder Titan on the roll, but James, his ulti's already out.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, not really getting damage on one singular, and look at the damage off of your
249. What?
Yeah, 350 right-click damage in total on a level 5 Elder Titan. That's a rapier's worth of damage. And Arzen, low on HP here.
Where did he get that spirit from?
You tell me.
I don't know. I didn't see.
Full-on portal action.
Yeah, he must be abusing the portals pretty nicely here with these spirits. As you see, again, he's just throwing a spirit out on top lane and then taking the portal.
Yeah.
Really, this is a unique way to play the hero. I like what he's doing. We don't see a lot of ET, so it's really cool when you do see an ET that you get some little tricks and tips you can use for just to pick up on, I guess.
Dawnbreaker already listing up a harpoon after finishing off the Vanguard.
Vanguard harpoon. Okay.
Yeah, very interesting item buildup. I mean, makes sense, sure, but
Vanguard for lane, harpoon. I mean, it's fine. She's just playing more of that carry style, right?
Right.
You always want to go Echo on this hero, almost no matter the situation. Pairs really well with the Starbreaker. You are a right-click type of hero. You want to use that luminosity to some effect, as it does provide healing on top of the Solar Guardian, which is one thing a lot of people don't give enough credit for, is this hero does lots of healing by right clicks if it scales.
That is true. That is true. I was just thinking more like Echo Saber into BKB for the Dawnbreaker, but I mean,
He still might do it. It's like this isn't like a hard commitment or anything. It's just
yeah.
gives you an idea what he's thinking about. So it's gonna be Echo for sure. Then we'll see what he wants to do after that.
We'll definitely see how this game evolves. Only 5 kills so far in the first 10 minutes. Dad leading the net worth with this Sven, kind of expected. And Shadow Fiend slowly catching up with the rest of the pack here, no longer that far behind. But HFN,
Pango
on this
is
Juggernaut, not feeling too good,
kinda
but
just gives
Pango
his life
actually
away.
down.
Are fortified.
Oh boy.
Radiant
Yeah, he tries to do
structures are
Swashbuckle just to do some damage and stop the push, but he was alone. And NoPing just punished him heavily. And all the praise we gave him from that early game, now he's dead. His top tower's dead. And Shadow Fiend just took mid tower away from him. So, a lot of, like, 3 steps forward, 4 steps back type of situation here for the Pango.
Yeah, sudden change of pace as well. Like NoPing just out of nowhere, kind of you get one pick off, you instantly open up the entire map for yourselves, and now you got to chill for a bit until you get the next pick off, which James might be allowing them, but Dad is coming in as well from the side, and that is a very low Dawnbreaker. Forced out right away.
Gave away the Rolling Thunder.
He might get the connection on James.
Kind of
he
stuck
does.
here.
Oh. Absolute calculation there with that stolen Rolling Thunder. He gets 1 extra second compared to the Pango, and he gets the stun to connect.
And just like that, that Pango that we were praising of having such a good early game, it's in the dumpster. The Pango is now, holy, look at the party hats on the techie mines. That's a thing? They're party mines. Quite interesting. All right. On top lane here, this Echo Saber in the works here for Arzen. He
Also
did get the tower down.
A Pavis brought up by Bismar. A hero, an item that has been kind of forgotten this patch.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were building this item right when the patch came out, but there's no reason why you shouldn't get it. It's definitely better in games where there's going to be lots of physical damage, and I think this one makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Dawn, a lot of right clicks. Shadow Fiend going to be a lot of right clicking as well. And of course, the Juggernaut with that Omni Slash, having that extra physical block. It's a pretty solid choice. It's a cheap item. I think Pavis is just one of the few items in Dota right now people aren't going for because it doesn't have like an upgrade. If you look at drums or something like that, they got the nice buff of getting the Boots of Bearing upgrade. Pavis, it's just a Pavis at the end of the day. Maybe in future patches you can build it into something, but right now it is what it is. No upgrade available for it. I guess similar items like Glimmer Cape do the same thing, but invisibility is always invincibility.
Yeah.
Especially as the game goes later.
Invincibility for sure. Vessel also lined up for the Rubik, and Dawnbreaker has a whole list of items. We've got a Halberd and the Harpoon, with the Harpoon going to be the one item he's going to be finishing off first. So disarming the Sven makes a lot of sense here. I was thinking BKB just because of the fact that you got a plenty of stuns. It also renders the Timber Saw kind of useless. But if your only job is to just, provide extra support for HFN in terms of your ult, you show up, you stun people, halberd up to Sven when Sven gets his jump on targets. I guess that's another way to look at it, and I'm not blaming it. It's a good idea. It's just the Harpoon that I'm kind of like, is it necessary to build up that Harpoon? But okay, there we go. He's changed his mind. He's going for Crimson Guard on this Dawnbreaker, and he scrapped everything else.
I started talking about Dawnbreaker. Kind of bothers me that when you throw your hammer, right, you can still right click for your full attack damage.
Radiant are scared.
'Cause you do the same damage with your fist as you do with your hammer. As Universitario are going to steal the Ancients here.
That's a quick clear as well.
Oh boy!
Good night.
Good night indeed to HFN. That was not like 2 supports or anything. That was their carry teeping into that.
Oh, they recognized that, yeah, they're probably farming our stacks right now, but that was a couple more heroes than what they were expecting. Dismar, mines exploding, blast off on the target. It didn't even take half a second and they were gone.
And Shadow Fiend is going for that carry build as well. And this is where you're a little bit worried. You got a Battle Fury Juggernaut. You've got a Shadow Fiend who has a Dragon Lance. And your offlaner's a Dawn, who is gonna. I mean, I don't know what's going on with this item build here. Is he just going for a casual Oblivion stuff? Surely you just finished Echo Saber, right?
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense, right? At this point.
I don't know if he's going to, because he has 1,500 gold. He might just go straight for a Crimson, realizing that maybe he needs to be a bit more selfless this game.
True.
Because he does have 2 hard carries.
Maybe he just wanted the mono region off of the Oblivion staff. Like, he is kind of a very big mana usage hero on this Dawnbreakers. You gotta have something, but James gonna be watching into the river. That's a quest. Oh, look at that stomp on 3, but oh no mana for Earth Splitter. If he had just a little bit more, maybe they could have capitalized on it.
Oh,
the
nice
lift will cancel out the blast off, but yours down on LB Show. He's gonna be the next target to fall. Universitario will take them one by one. James picking up a double, and they're still not done. Oh, they're gonna... Okay, that was not a stack, but that's just their ancient camp again farmed away.
Or Sven is now online, where if you look at the side of NoPing, okay, hold on. Arsen might be in a little bit of trouble as James, the rolling party hat, is coming for you.
And James on the chase. Oh, the ulti just ran out as he walks on top of the Dawnbreaker and surrounded by the gank squad.
This spells trouble for NoPing here, because their draft, the way that we kind of looked at it, is it's going to be greedy, it's going to farm. Can James have a good game? He's had a bit of a seesaw of the game here. Great early game, interesting mid game, but now that he's gone over that, got a couple more kills, he's online now. More than anything, Dad is online with his Sven, and who's truly online for NoPing right now? The supports say want to play Dota, but Shadowfiend, I guess if he finishes this BKB, he'll be able to fight, but we haven't seen much impact from the Shadowfiend so far in this game here, as he is playing more of a greedy style, didn't have the laning stage that he should have had.
That's
and
true.
Of course, HFN is just hitting away at creeps right now with the Battle Fury, and nobody wants to really fight from their side.
And you've got like these, you know, a melee right clicker, you have a ranged right clicker, both kind of doing somewhat of a same job here with Sebas and HFN. So is that really the way to go, to have just more and more right click damage, but nothing else going on the sides here? We'll see what ends up being the final result, as we see Assault Cuirass momentarily was lined up for the Juggernaut, but we'll see.
I mean,
when he
don't
finally...
look at HFN's quick buy, man. This guy's a troll.
He's debating, yeah.
He's one of those players that just puts 3 Midases on there and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, we'll see what happens
really
here. James is in a good position here, but so is Sebas, ready to intercept. So Lissex finding even more targets here, and it's going to be Yor. But do they see the rest as they show up from the trees? Dismar down to half HP. James is on solo. The Stomp's going to be connecting on 2, and here comes the Requiem. The Fear will connect onto 3, but Dad's going to be coming up from the side with a blink and gets 1 down. Maybe even look for more. Arzen's going to be the target as that Dawnbreaker doesn't really have anywhere to go. Solar Guardian quickly on the side. Sebas with the BKB. James won't be able to stun it, but the Dawnbreaker's going to be going down. Nevertheless, double kill going for Lissex, and the TPL with the BKB should be able to do so, but no, not enough damage. He is out. Yours still going to be chased up by Lissex. He's got a Chakram, but he's very, very fast with that Astral Titan buff and able to run out.
Yeah, I mean, there's a pretty good fight there if you're looking on the side of Universitario yet again. And Shadowfiend, even with this BKB, the best he could do with that BKB in that fight is just pop it. And then after that, just TPL. He dropped the Requiem, but that was about it. And I'm not sure what item you're looking for. It's going to be HFN at some point where he wants to join the game, group up around Roshan, but this Undying Tombstone has been doing work in these fights so far. As we're going to have a small disconnect here. Someone we haven't talked a lot about is Lissex on that Timbersaw, showing up in that fight in a big way.
Yeah, we got a bit of a pause as well to reset things here, but Lissex, he might just be the next target. And they're going to be focusing on here in this top lane. Yor, he's very close. And yeah, you talked about those party hat mines, but I had a, momentary Qhali on my end, so I was able to respond. And now I just realized that we actually do have party hat mines, elephants with hats. Interesting.
Mine elephants. Metal elephants with hats, yeah. It is interesting indeed, and you're saying Timber has to be careful about this gank. it's going to be even harder, especially when you disconnect from the game and get back into it. You can sometimes lose that focus of what's happening in the game here. Hopefully his teams are there to remind him.
Close to finding him as well. Do they have any vision? Okay, now I think they're seeing some animations around there, and they've spotted him with no Timber Chain.
They can't kill him with 2 heroes like that. There's no way supports are going to kill a Timber with 20 stacks of reactive up.
Yeah, they would have needed the Shadow Fiend around.
Most definitely. And then for the Juggernaut here, looks like he's going to, the 20-minute mark, get the Shield Rune. But now St. Ignatius completed into the Battle Fury. HFN, I think he realizes he's not going to do too much. He's still playing for that level 20 talent. If you do go for the Battle Fury build and not for some Maelstrom or Diffusal spin build, you don't really have much of a toolkit to help out. So you're kind of just farming, playing for that late game situation. Get that level 20 talent where you press Omni Slash when you're low, you're back to full health. Maybe if you're spinning around too, I still believe you should get lifesteal off it. I'm not sure if that was fixed as well in the new patch, changing how the blade dance does work, but we'll have to see. And HFN, it's like he's going straight into the Tormentor. Just with that healing ward, he should be able to pretty easily solo this one.
Yeah, should be. Yeah, looks like he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, he'll be
on a day's work, at least.
Add that to another one of the heroes that can solo the Tormentor with Ursa, Templar Assassin. And of course, if you're farmed enough, you can always do it in the late game. But those 20-minute Tormentor solos, there's not a small list of heroes that can do it.
Yeah, and you got yourself a pretty good shard. It's the Rubik Saving Lift. I was looking at some of the shards that this team has. Dawnbreaker would like to have one. The Shadow Fiend also gains a big benefit out of that Necromastery shard. Juggernaut, well, considering if you do want to go for those Blade Fury talents, then sure. That one was also good. But you want to have that Rubik Lift early on. Your big saving grace. That Roshan, though, is going to be going down. And Universitario, they're going to get themselves Immortality on the Sven. Are they?
I mean, these heroes
kills,
like
though. Lysex's going in. He's finding Yor down to half HP. Quick chakra and burst there, down to 500 HP. And he's trying to get the attention of NoPing. Fight me. My guys are right behind me. Just fight me. Arzent. Lysex still in the middle of everything. Crimson Guard buff being popped. And Jade. Oh, he brings the Omni Slash to the team. He's now down to half. He's got no God Strength. Bit of unluck, if you want to put it that way. But he definitely brought it to his team. And they're losing members, all right. They've lost 2. Looking like a 3rd as they can intercept this Timber Assault. Lysex down. Oh, no. Not the way you wanted that fight to go. You wanted to get their attention, but you didn't want to kill everybody in the process.
That was a very, very, depending how you look at lucky or unlucky Omni Slash, as it did the majority of the right clicks landed onto the Pango. It couldn't have gotten any worse for Universitario, though, and even the Timber Saw runs into the small camp, and I guess who's waiting in the small camp? The creeps that can break his passive, so he gets a break applied to him in the middle of the fight, and he's
That's
like,
unlucky.
They really just couldn't catch a break in that fight.
I kind of like, I can picture that situation in my mind. It's kind of like, okay, techies can't do this, but imagine Pangolier has a techie's mine in his hand, and he's bringing it to the team. What do I do, guys? What do I do, guys? What do I do, guys? And, you know, it ends up exploding in their face, and that is the Omni Slash from HFN. He's going to pop it right now.
Yep. Oh, look how many slashes are hitting the Pango, man. And the fact that it didn't bounce back to... And then, of course, you're going to see Timber get aggroed by the Earth Splitter in a second, and then his armor is going to get broken here, so now you can't generate any more stats, only sitting at 3. And he goes down as well. Probably wouldn't have mattered, but it's just one of those things where you're just like, wow, everything is just wrong right now.
Just a casual 6K net worth swing. Nothing much.
Not much indeed, but you still do have the Aegis. You didn't lose it in that fight. Dad's still incredibly strong on this Sven. And yeah, let's see what they want to do with it. But I think if you are in this situation, you're a bit nervous now on this Juggernaut, because
certainly
not Juggernaut, out of the Sven.
And El Micho in the middle of a minefield as well. Has to be very careful of Dismar. Dismar also getting hit by a couple, looks like Rubik mines at the same time, as he had those proximity mines stolen for a bit. Now he has a reactive taser. Those mines will still remain.
So he can use that taser on allies.
True, he could just pop it on the Juggernaut, yeah.
But he doesn't want it and gets Timber Chain instead. It was only a level 1 reactive taser.
Level 1 reactive taser. It's still a 2.4 second disarm. On a Sven, that's huge.
It is.
Oh my, here we go. The fight's going to be breaking loose. They got the lift onto the Undying, trying to get away. The Earth Splitter is going to be connecting, and James rolling in right on top of a Blade Fury Juggernaut, but they're looking to take this Dawnbreaker down. Silenced up, nowhere to go, taken out of play. HFN going to be chased up, but the bash comes out from James's Basher on that Swashbuckle. Keeps on chasing. Can they get this Jug? Doesn't look like he can, as Sebas is going to be interrupting them. And El Miso with a stolen Stormhammer keeps the Timber on the spot for the time being, but he's going to be able to run away with that Spirit Vessel. Still ticking, dropping him low, but not killing him entirely. Bit of resets on resets. Add. Couple seconds left of Godstrike. He wants the tower. He wants it. He's going to go for it. And he might just YOLO his life for it. He still has the Aegis though, but he's able to get out. Bounces back the Stormhammer. Will fly onto the Elder Titan. And you know well not to chase the techies into the tree line. So they will get the tower. They get to keep the Aegis. And they won't lose any heroes for it.
Pretty good, pretty good. But if you are looking at NoPing, they're not too stressed out about this. They're not losing HFN. He does have the superior carry to carry matchup. We've seen time and time again. The game does go late, and you do have a better or advantageous matchup in your carry position. You're generally going to be pretty comfortable. Just hitting away, no pressure, and that's exactly what's happening to HFN right now. He does not feel very pressured in this game, but with that Orchid online for Sven and not having a Manta, that could be a window here for Universitario to exploit.
He got hit by 3 proximity mines and went down to 50 HP. Smoked up as well.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Exactly.
He's got a healing ward from Juggernaut, so unless you get the kill there, it doesn't really matter that much, as Jug does have that healing ward cooldown talent available.
Yeah. And a bit of a curio as well, Fear. I see a Bloodstone Timber Saw. I haven't seen this in ages.
Yeah, I mean, it works well with Qhali and Sange, I suppose. If he does go for, like, that late game Timber Saw, when at level 25 you get the second Chakram, maybe a Flamethrower up in there, you could get a decent amount of spell lifesteal off that. But yeah, I'm with you on that one. I haven't seen this very frequently. Definitely one of the more greedy builds. It doesn't help his team at all. Maybe him being a frontliner helps a bit, but we'll see how much damage you can actually do with this and heal back with it.
I can imagine, like, if you pop the Bloodstone, once you have the reactive armor Aghanim Scepter, you can get quite a big of a mana boost as well while you're doing damage and you're staying alive and getting Spell Amp at the same time with your Chakrams flying around. So I believe this Bloodstone is actually a quite smart pickup for the Timber Saw in terms of tankability and presence in the front line.
Well, we'll see. I mean, the other option that most Timbers opt for is the Octarine Core, so it's just different. Let's put it that way.
Just built different.
he really is built different this game.
Tier 2 to fall in the top lane is going to be a freebie for NoPing. Universitario just playing around the middle and the bottom half of the map. They've got themselves a couple deep wards placed down. At least one in the top lane and another protective one inside their triangle. And you look at the vision for NoPing, they've got good ward placement here, like this one, especially in the bottom half of the map, showing Lissex's location. You see the entrance to the triangle the whole time, an area which Universitario is going to be using a lot this game. So that's a very good ward placement. It is going to run out in 20 seconds, but if they can keep refreshing and resetting that without getting spotted out, value.
Yeah, it definitely is, and Universitario is playing the map, I would say, a bit better. They're feeling very confident, but I will say NoPing has stabilized this game quite well. Shadow Fiend up to a Silver Edge now, starting to get some good right-click damage off, and of course, HFN, he's going into the Basher. Butterfly is done. Level 20 talent has been secured. HFN stonks are definitely on the up and up right now for this game.
Well, we got a bit of a stalling moment, at least, for the time being. Sebas getting bigger and bigger on this Shadow Fiend. Still third in net worth. HFN, he's building into the Abyssal Blade, as we talked about more of these bashers. Pango already revealed his in the previous fight. And as he gets that Aghanims, this Pangolier gets a hell of a buff with the Bashers and the Diffusals already amping up your Swashbuckles, your Shield Crash, dealing more of those Swashbuckle hits.
Radiant are scanning.
Plenty of damage. I think Pango Ags is one of my favorites, probably after the PA Ags.
Roshan still 2 minutes away. We haven't seen a fast Roshan.
No, we have not. We have
It
not.
continues.
I was talking
No
about this
fast
yesterday.
Roshas here.
When's the last time we've seen the fast Roshan? It's like, the answer is just nope.
Nope.
4-man
Hey,
smoke.
not tomorrow. Never.
Never, by the looks of it. 4-man smoke from NoPing, heading towards the bottom half of the map, suspecting Roche to be up. Supports calling out their Roche timers from their notebooks. It's time to go, boys. Techies already in a good position here. Dismark gets information, they're on their way, and even more mines placed down. HFN, he could spin, but he decides not to. He's just going to take every single mine away.
Okay.
I love the optimism. You know, there could have been 4, there could have been even 5 heroes around this area, and he just goes D-warding duty. Like, sure, I'll just do it. Dismar found by Elmisho, and Techies is going to need some backup. Gets the clip. He even throws him closer towards the Universitario team, and they're going to be making their way forward. Dad, ready to blink in with the God Strength, already popped up.
Yeah, he used God Strength. They have to go here.
Commitment time. Yor, you know, he sees HFN, and he sees Yor. That's a perfect one, and he's going to get them. 2-man stun on the money. Yor going down. HFN to fall. Yor coming in with the instant buyback. LB's going to be chased up as well. Arzen, he will slow them down with a stun, but that's going to cost his life. Sebas, he's going to try and fight as much as he can. Maybe take 1 or 2 lives with him, but he will BKB teleport away, and no bash from Pango. No brains indeed by Austin, as they are out. Losing that jug.
Yeah, we're seeing this Orchid, now a Bloodthorn, actually having so much effect in this game, and you saw him pop God Strength. You knew it. All you have to do is just stay back on this Juggernaut and not get jumped. Especially this Finn, he needs to find you in the fights. If an Omni Slash comes off and you don't have a Lotus Orb on top of you, which they do have 1 Lotus Orb, which is nice, but you're going to pop it on your Sven, he's going to be on timer in these fights because the Omni Slash will come out. And now when I think you're in a situation here, if you're this Juggernaut where, yeah, this Abyssal is great, but maybe you just need a BKB because you need some way to get this Orchid off of you. Maybe you can start talking about Lotus Orbs as well, but who's really going to buy that for you?
Yeah, and how can you fight against this Roshan already been taken by Universitarios? NoPing, don't have a jug for another 10 seconds. That's a 10-second head start for this Dire team to finish off this Roshan. They are pinging the location. It is James as well. It's like, we need to protect this area. Juggernaut's coming in with the teleport onto the outpost. They Roche down to a 3rd. Gotta hurry up. Gotta hurry up if you want to make there in time. HFN this time won't walk through the mines, but it's going to be enough of a blocker for him as Dad picks up the Aegis and a cheese as well in his backpack. HFN shows his Blade Fury has been popped. Can they catch somebody off farming this lane? Yor trying to go for the quick dust play. Dismar moving out. Stomp will not connect. Nobody to be caught, Dad. Oh, maybe as I say that, Shadow Fiend in the area. Has Silver Edge. Surprise element, Dismar. Uh-oh, here's the mine go off, and there's your Techie. Looks like it's going to be history for him. And Dad's going to get jumped up by Arzen as well. The Blink Stun does connect onto the Sven. He's going to get disarmed as well by the Reactive Taser. And the BKB instantly running away. El Misho, you found the power of the Reactive Taser. Keeping on to it.
Yeah,
Might have gone Roche, but he will lose a hero.
Yeah, they have no BKB either now. God Strength is up with Aegis. However, BKB was forced there, so maybe you just go high ground if you're HFN. Can he be bursted is the question. I think there's a chance he can.
But no BKB. Gonna be a weird fight as well. James has already used his Rolling Thunder, and Lissex can't catch anybody. Protected by the Lotus Orb, though. Stomp does connect. Chilling on the low ground. HFN's got to be in the front. Arzent right next to him. Lissex wants to clear out the waves. They need 40 seconds for the BKB to come back up. Timbersaw going to get jumped on. Has the Lotus popped on as well again. But he is not a target you can fight. Still has that Bloodstone. NoPing also realizes a bit of a futile effort. They got the tier 3.
Yeah, they're just dangling the Timber in front. He's the tankiest. And he has buyback. So if they do commit on him and things don't go well, then all of a sudden you can buy back. And Jug, he doesn't want to Omnislash anyone except for maybe Pango. Pango would be acceptable, but he really wants the Sven. And he wants the Sven when he doesn't have Aegis, so... You got 3 minutes with this Aegis, plenty of time to do something. You are ahead in net worth, but I just have this glooming fear that, like, NoPing is still winning this game somehow. Just based off, like, how the scaling works. But if Dad keeps getting these, like, ideal, perfect jumps on the HFN, silencing him before he can manage to even get a spin off, then maybe that'll be your route to victory here. But HFN is allowed to attack. He is going to be a big issue.
Sebas just a bit too far away from scouting out James in the top half of the map here. Popped his Silver Edge, even hunting for a target. And now the smoke up. They are convening here into the triangle. There is the Dire scan. Will not catch anybody, so they will continue hunting. Shadow Fiend is right close, right next to that lane. And there goes NoPing's Courier. That is a Lotus Orb recipe. Lissex was already scouting out in the front line here.
The Hex reveal.
And the Hex revealed, yeah. That's a DD Sven, though, which doesn't look like he's going to be getting to use.
That's another item for the Juggernaut that's going to be a little bit worrisome. So I guess your path to victory here for Universitario is playing around the vision, getting these Hex Orchids off onto the Juggernaut and trying to kill him. But Shadow Fiend is building. As HFN... He will be on the front line here, but this is a little scary, I think. Oh, Hex was actually used on the Blade Fury, so...
No ping, no fear. Lissex also jumping in the front. Isolating at least Arzent on the Dawnbreaker away from the rest of his team, and now they can open up that tier 2 tower. Universitario has been able to take every single outer tower. This is the last one. Hey, just for a minute. And there's the jump. Techi's gone. Instantly deleted. And so is Almisho. But they got the jump of the Dawnbreaker of the Hex. Is it going to be enough damage, though? Yours falling to the cleave damage. Sven getting stunned up as well. HFN does get the Abyssal. And the stuns of the Sven. Sven's going to be dropping. He's saved by the grab ally for the time being. But he's going to get stunned. He didn't leave on time.
He still has Omnislash.
Loading up the Requiem. And there goes your Sven running in fear. Healed by the cheese. But it's not looking like it's enough. Or is it? The Glimmer Save pushing him away. And he's out. Arzent. There's the Omnislash. This set's going to be tanking this damage and breaking it as well with a Timber Chain. Are they just getting out? Are they just getting away? They were supposed to die, all of them. But it doesn't look like it. Lissex, he's out. HFN, Abyssal in a second. But no blink. Can't get to the Timber Saw. And there's the Hex to counter even. Dad coming in. They've got stuns available. They've got the silence as well. Abyssal onto the Sven. He's going to get Glimmer Save, but the Jug falling. And Jug almost going down. He's 500 HP from falling, but no. Arzent turning around onto Austin. Austin going to take some damage on the Undying, and he's also being vassaled up, and he will fall. But they couldn't kill the Sven. Nor could they kill the Jug.
Universitario getting incredibly lucky there. That was an Aegis fight, keep in mind, but you're starting to see the damage start to rack up here. Even SF at this point starting to do sizable chunks of damage into Dad on his Sven here. And yeah, I suppose the Timber is getting closer and starting to do a lot of damage and getting closer at 25, so maybe he can make up for the damage issues that they do have in these fights. But that was not an ideal fight, and I think you're incredibly grateful that Sven got out of there, Timber got out of there. Of course, you had to use your cheese and Aegis, but it looked like that was going to be a huge NoPing victory. And now we're getting the neutral items coming out, the 37-minute ones.
All right, let's
Tier
see
4
what
neutrals are online, which means we're officially into the late game now.
We certainly are. Spell Prism for the Timber, Trickster Cloak for the Sven. Very good item to have. More Spell Prisms. And the jump comes out onto the Rubik. El Misho surprised. One support out of play. They can continue taking over the map here, at least the side of NoPing. They're forced to go all the way back to the high ground.
Yep, they'll walk on over there, but I don't know if you want to do anything of that nature, like going high ground here for Universitario. Maybe wait for another Aegis. This time it's going to have a Refresher or an Agams, depending on what side Roshan will be on. So we will see.
Yeah, wait, is there a small chance? No, it has to be a daytime Roche.
Yeah.
Even with maximum 3 minutes, which is very likely in our game. It will still be a daytime Roche, but it could just be instantly rotating towards the top half of the map for the nighttime Roche pit. You're right.
All right, let's hedge our bets here on Roche on spawn timer. What do you got?
Oh man, I always wanna be the. Let's go the opposite way and go for 20 seconds. I'm gonna go with 110. Are you going 130 again?
I'll go. No. I'm going. I gotta be careful with this one.
You go 130.
I'm going with my heart. My heart says 2 minutes and 3 seconds.
2 minutes and 3 and 110.
That's
All
what
right.
the heart said. Yeah.
You heard it, chat. Throw out your Roshan spawn timers anywhere between 0 and 180. Go. 40 minutes played, 12k lead for Universitario. Would love to get that next Roche as well, but will NoPing be able to secure it for themselves? Both teams now playing both sides of the map. We're going to see them clump
Roche
up.
in 5.
And let's see what that Roche timer is going to be.
The
Drum
big
roll.
reveal. And 201. Oh my god, I was so close.
You're actually pretty close this time, eh?
What do you mean pretty close? I was like 2 seconds off. That's more than pretty close.
That's pretty close. Well, another long Roche spawn it is. I think we both were kind of right on that again. I guess it's not too hard to guess every time we're on. It's always plus 130. And to the bottom half of the map we go, but they might be intercepting themselves in the river. Lissex in the triangle position. The rest of them moving towards Roshan. NoPing going straight up south. Straight down south even. Take the tree approach. Again into the techies' minds. Not the best place to go into the fight. I guess you've learned by now, as Dad with the harpoon brings Elder Titan closer. Arzent is there, even though he did get the stomp or some kind of stun off onto 3. Arzent. Elder Titan coming in with the buyback as well. They're going to need that Earth Splitter. He's very low on HP, and the Dawnbreaker about to fall, and he's down. Can buyback, can ulti into the fight. James, Rolling Thunder about. Does get hit by a stun there. Oh, he also gets the pressure, and there we go. The harpoon does connect, but they also got themselves the Hex connected onto the Juggernaut. Is he taking any damage, though? That's the big question here. Omni Slash ripping them apart. Austin and Dad gone. And Lissex. Okay, a bit of an anime fight going on there with that Lotus Orb into the Swift Slash, but still this Timbersaw doesn't look like he's got any avenue of escaping, or can he? Does have another Hex available. Bloodstone is also there. And El Misho blinking in, chasing with the Chakram. Not enough damage to take him out. Still keeping high on his heels, but no, this Timbersaw too fast to go for. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, James, he's jumping onto Yor, and there's another Swift Slash onto James. He's going to TP out with the Rolling Thunder. Earth Splitter will miss. And Roche, well, he's going to be
The
home.
Omni Slash, we talk about, like, a lot of these fights are going to come down to, can you get an Omni Slash off for HFN? And if you can, that's kind of what happens. The Sven just melts, as we saw in that fight there. Perhaps maybe we can start using some grab ally plays to try and save and debate this Omni out, but they tried to burst him. The Lotuses were there, the Force Sets were there, the saves were available, and I think that was the big thing. Like, you had this ability for a while, you had this window to burst this Juggernaut with this Bloodthorn, but now you got this cast range on Rubik with the Lotus Orb, just removing it in the fights now, and now HFN, he feels like he can play the game.
And Shadow Fiend getting that Aghanim's Blessing, tapes number 1 in net worth. Got himself.
Jug has it actually. In
No,
inventory.
Jug. Oh, yeah.
wait.
Jug actually took it away for the time being, because I saw Shadow Fiend.
Actually, no, you got it
just
on
used
SF.
it. Yeah.
He just put his Ags in his backpack, but I think he just consumed it with the scroll.
Yeah. Now we have double Axe buffs up on this team, and on the other side, just the Pango. But yeah, that was 11 or 12k net worth lead. Now down to 6 thanks to Roshan.
Alright, level 25 talents are coming online. We do have the Juggernaut plus 2 hits on Healing Ward to kill. Very tanky little Healing Ward he has there. You have to commit a bit to kill it. And the heroes like Sven don't want to hit the Healing Ward twice, right? You just definitely want to get your burst damage in on a hero right away. Pango, he can't hit anything while he's in Rolling Thunder, so who is going to kill this Healing Lord? Timbersaw? He's like disarmed half the fight because he's using this ultimate, so Lots of healing going to be coming out from HFN here, and lots of damage. This last big jug here, it's reached critical mass now.
It certainly has. Timbersaw also getting that flamethrower from the Tormentor, now has a lot of buttons to push with that second chakra. Now the flamethrower, 5 buttons just on your basic spells, and then you have all the items you also need to click. Very utility-based. Lotus Orb sights. If you got fast
He's
fingers,
buying
it could
Ags
be,
too, so he can have another button to press.
yeah, that too. Unlock the last button, basically, you know. Achievement unlocked. You've got all abilities now available.
Radiant's
HFN marching onto the high ground, though. He's not waiting. He wants them back in their base. And has the Aegis. This 6.
Look at Timber. He's trying to kill the healing ward. All right, he got it.
Got it. One way to do
3
it.
hits.
A lot of damage does fly in, but
Radiant's bottom
it's not going to be enough to finish off HFN. And that tier 3, it is protected for the time being. But all of their tier 3s, minus the one that was already taken earlier on, they've all taken damage. And Universitario hasn't been able to properly push inside the base of NoPing yet. They definitely have the tools if they want to fight.
It's a little bit hard into this Aegis and Cheese right now, I think. Shadow Fiend is really stacking up here to him, but I think they're going to have to fight soon, as HFN is just going to force the high ground here.
Yep, he's getting a nice Warcry buff there. Actually only getting affected by the Warcry aura from El Misho stealing Warcry. Constant +6. And then you get an extra 15 from the cast, but it's a very short range. Now he's got both of them. 31 plus 31 armor for the Juggernaut. Yep, 78% physical resist against the Sven, but they don't need to hit the Juggernaut. They can hit anybody else. BKB up on Sven as he hits the backline. He's going to be pulled away with the Lotus Orb, with the Swift Slash, and HFN continues to battle it through. He will fall for the first time. Also the jump from this bar. Sebas going down. A triple for Dad. Maybe even more. A second look for the Ultra Kill on HFN. Does he TP out this time? Yes, again! Where the hell are your bashes, James? Just again!
Yeah.
They're all just TPing out. But it's a triple still for this Sven, and a good hold. Just talking about the armor that this Juggernaut has, but hey, we'll just hit everybody else.
Yeah, and Shadow Fiend, I don't know how he got caught there by the Sven, but that's not good, because he didn't get his BKB off there, didn't get his cheese off. Very critical that they found this kill here, but really good jump there from Universitario, like ignoring the Juggernaut, as you mentioned, going straight for that backline, killing the supports, killing the Shadow Fiend, pretty much allowing you to just win the fight.
Arzet taking a quick half HP burst from that Timbersaw, forced all the way back home. HFN, he's there to protect the tower. He at least is bashing a couple times onto the Timbersaw. It does feel like James, he's just not bashing at all when he really, really needs them. Left out on Sven, the jump on the backline. Rubik's going to be quickly burst down by Lissex. And onto the Arzet Dawnbreaker. They go next. Shadow Fiend considering, do I buy back? I'm losing members. And that's the time for the Dawnbreaker. 2 minutes gone. HFN going to be surrounded and taken away as well. And that's GG. That's it. You failed to push, and you failed your defense, and Universitario, for the first time this year, take a map off of NoPing. Damn.
That game